Hello again guys, hope we're all well. Well, they weren't joking about the weather. It's about 3 PM now and it's due to rain for the next 2 hours. I've just got off the train at Needham Market and we're going to be completing the Gipping Valley River Path for the rest of today and into tomorrow. So I'm just heading to Needham Lake now and yeah, and we'll be carrying on. I've got full OEX waterproofs on, over trousers as well, very nice. Got my Osprey Talon 33 litre rucksack and the Osprey pack cover with it. I've even got my OEX bush tarp tonight and the hiking poles, as well as my Rab Ridge Raider hooped bivvy, so I'm prepared for the wet weather. Right, let's get ready to ramble and let's get ready to walk. This is Needham Lake in the rain. The swans don't seem to mind it too much. Wonder if I'll see any more rats today. He's absolutely chucking it down. Literally, I got off the train and it literally started on cue. It was almost like, Tom's outdoors now, let's rain. Good times. At least I'm getting to rain test all my gear. So hopefully there's no thunderstorms or anything, or lightning. Can't be doing with that shit. The rain has stopped a little bit, which is quite good because there's a little bit here to tell you about next to this old mill. Look at this. Nice. So yeah, walk you back to this here. Yeah, the sun's coming out now, banging. Let's write this down. The River Gipping rises above Stowmarket and flows down the Gipping Valley until it joins the River Orwell at Ipswich. The river was navigable as far back as 860 AD, when the Danes used it to establish the village of Rattlesdane. It was once thought that between 1065 and 1095, Carnstone was brought from Normandy up the rivers Gipping and Rat to Rattlesdane, then to Bury St Edmunds to build the abbey. The river was still in use into the 1600s in its original state. In the early 1700s, plans were made to improve the navigation, but these received a lot of opposition from the Ipswich Corporation. This opposition was eventually overcome, and in 1790 a board of trustees was appointed to administer the Ipswich and Stowmarket navigation, and in 1793 the navigation was opened. A tonnage charge of 1 shilling per ton per mile was levied for use of the navigation, but there was a minimum charge equal to a 35-ton load. A 30 to 40-ton horse-drawn lighter completed the journey in about 8 hours. In its heyday, about 30 lighters a day were regularly used in the navigation. The main cargo was manure, which travelled toll-free, gun cotton, corn and hops. In 1846 the railway arrived, and with it a large decline in waterborne trade. By 1900 there were very few boats left on the water. There followed many years of neglect, which resulted in the navigation becoming completely impassable. The Ipswich branch of the Inland Waterways Association started restoration work on the river in the 1970s, assisting with the clearance of the towing path to create the Gipping Way, a public footpath that runs the length of the navigation. So what we're standing in front of is Bosmere Lock. It was the first major restoration project carried out by the Ipswich branch of IWA. Prior to this, the only work carried out by the branch had been scrub clearance and footpath improvements. Following the completion of the restoration of the lock, a brick stop plank storage facility was constructed alongside the lock. This is to offer safe storage for the stop planks that are used to hold back the water when there are no gates fitted to the lock. 12 feet below this structure is a time capsule awaiting discovery in the future. And that is it there. How cool is that? So yeah, this is the where they used to store the planks, in there. That's pretty cool. Right, let's crack on. I believe we're heading that way, guys. So this is Alderson Lake. It is private because it's like a fishing lake, but this is where they found like mammoth tusks and fossils and stuff like that from the Ice Age. When I was reading sort of the stuff in the last video at Needham Lake, they mentioned Alderson Lake, and yeah, they found loads of like Ice Age remains and stuff here. Pretty cool. Oh well, ain't this lovely? Nice. So that little bridge that I've just shown you, and over there is Creting Lock. So I'll just read you about the restoration. The lock remained in a state of dereliction until 1998, when volunteers from the Ipswich branch of the Inland Waterways Association started restoration work. The lock was at risk of collapse due to penetration of the brick invert lock floor. Both ground paddle culverts had largely collapsed and were rebuilt. Two concrete bases of a Bailey bridge, which had been constructed across the lock to take heavy lorries when ballast was extracted from beneath an adjacent field, had to be broken up and removed. The lock chamber walls were considered unstable, requiring 4 ground anchors to be fitted. Sections of the walls had to be demolished and rebuilt due to penetration of plant roots. So Creting Lock and Bridge are Grade 2 listed structures and had to be restored as near as possible to original condition. In recognition of the way this has been carried out, the Ipswich branch of the Inland Waterways Association have been awarded the 2006 Dorothea Award for Conservation by the Association of Industrial Archaeology. That is a picture of the bridge, if you can see it, hopefully. Creting Lock and Bridge circa 1930. And then that's some photos of them restoring it there as well. I'll just show you a closer picture of the bridge. There it is. Wow. We've just passed Hanford Lock and Hanford Mere. We also went past the Rare Breeds farm as well. And yeah, sort of lots of big fishing lakes around here. Lots of geezers in DPM and camouflage. Action man, the greatest hero of them all. Yeah, anyway. Sun's out. It's really nice. And I'm starting to dry out at last. We're approaching... Ooh, I think actually this might be Hanford Lock here. I know it's a lock anyway. I can hear the water running, so I'll bring you back there. Yeah, so this is Hanford Lock. So it's one of 15 locks built along the River Gipping. Just seen a little muntjac deer. He must have gone through the water, jumped up there and climbed through this person's garden. I didn't have a chance to get him on camera though, he was too quick for me. How nice is this though? Having your garden back onto this. It's absolutely lovely. And then check this out. This little boat down here is called the Stupid Punt. I remember seeing this on the Barham, Baleham and Coddenham walk. I remember filming this as well. It's absolutely lovely. That's the back of someone's garden. So we're crossing over this bridge now. Show you the other side of the river as well. Out there, there we go. Right, we're heading along there. Another fishing lake, of course all private. Be good to camp next to though, but not worth the risk. I'm going to stop soon and have something to eat. It's about 20 to 5 now, so I'll probably walk till about 5 o'clock, stop and have cook something to eat, have like a cooked meal, and then I'm going to carry on. Probably have to stop around 8 o'clock, it will start getting dark then, and look for somewhere to camp. Update on the walk. Walked a few more miles. There wasn't a hell of a lot of interesting stuff. Crossed over some main roads. So yeah, I haven't spoke to you for a bit. Rain started again, so I had to stick the waterproofs on again. I've just entered a field next to the River Gipping, and there was a sign on the gate that said, "Beware of the bull." Now I'm just thinking, shit, I've got a red jacket on. Red rag to a bull, anyone? So this may be the last scene I do, but I doubt it. I see some cows. Which one of them's a bull? We'll soon see. Right, there's these cows here, but this one straight ahead across the path. Is it a bull? I think it's a normal cow, but it's staring right at me. It is not moving. I'll have to go around it. Ah, no, that's it, it's moving. No, it's got udders, it can't be a bull. It's a female. But is it only bulls that are enraged by the colour red? Or is it all cows? I'm not sure. It's got some killer teats on it though. I said teats, by the way, so yeah. Dirty backside though. I suppose cows don't wipe their own arses, do they? So yeah, I don't think I could live like that really. I think I'd have to wipe my own arse. I couldn't just have like shit hanging around. I don't know where this is going, by the way. I mean, I've just gone off on a tangent. This is me normally. I'll wind everyone up at work with my odd ramblings that go off at a tangent. Right, I think we've survived the cows. Apart from this big black bugger here. That's not racist. Shit. It's a black cow. Got nothing against black cows. That one was walking towards me. That one's having a piss. Cows are strange creatures. Right. This has gone on long enough. It's getting weird now, Tom. I'm a bit scared. It's 20 to 6 and we come out to this big old mill here that looks like it's been turned into houses, and yeah, come out to another lock here. Really nice. You really sort of start to see the shape of like the river and like sort of the canal and sort of, you know, all the locks and stuff. You can sort of see how it would have been, you know, when the navigation was in place and the barges were going back and forth. It's really cool. Alright, we're now entering Brantford Meadows Local Nature Reserve, and it's beside the railway line and of course the river itself. So that's pretty much been the constant sort of focal points, the whole thing. Of course the river, but the railway line pretty much follows it. And so we did follow the main road for quite a bit. We've sort of left that behind now. And there's some houses over there. That would be Brantford, of course. And yeah, there's a map. Just wipe this down. Yeah. Hopefully you can see that. Okay, right, we're carrying on. Once again, that's the other thing as well we've seen a lot of on this walk. Fishing. People fishing lakes, spots along the river where you can fish. I mean, you just need, I think, a permit, and yeah, you can fish, which sort of raises a concern to me. Can I get away with wild camping along this river? So we'll have to see anyway. As I say, I'm coming up to a potential spot soon. Okay, I'm still walking through Brantford Local Nature Reserve and saw a sign back there, because I crossed over a little main road, saw a sign back there that said Gipping Valley River Path, Sproughton, which is sort of the next sort of largest village. Sproughton is 1 mile away, or less than that now. And I think I'm pretty much at the point where my potential wild camp spot is for the night. Well, it's not turned out to be as good a site as I think it could be. So, and to be honest with you, I ain't really too fussed about wild camping or not, but I've looked on the map. I'm on the second map, by the way, now. I've been on that a while now. 197 OS Explorer, Ipswich, Felixstowe and Harwich, Woodbridge and Manningtree. Well, looking on the map, and you know what, I'm thinking, shit, I could actually do this walk probably in one go. I reckon it's about 6:15 now. I reckon I could probably be back at Ipswich at the docks, where the Gipping turns into the Orwell and flows out to the estuary and the sea. I reckon I could probably be there at about 8 PM. Okay, now it's lovely here. Look, nice little bridge. I reckon I could probably do that, yeah, by 8 o'clock, maybe 7:30 at the latest. It's probably going to be a little bit dark, but the train station is literally right by the footpath. I've looked on the map. I've just got to go over like a little road, and boom, I'm there. And yeah, I can take it or leave it on this one, really. I mean, places to camp look pretty sparse, so, and it's actually quite built up. It's quite a, you know, a well-used route, so it's a bit risky anyway to camp. Not that that would still stop me, but at the moment I don't know what I'm going to do, whether I'm going to camp or whether I'm going to walk it all in one go, but I'm going to aim to just try and walk as much as I can before it gets dark, so I probably will end up finishing it today. So yeah, that's the latest news on the walk. Bit of a turnaround. It's a little bit dark and dingy here, but this is Sproughton Lock, so yeah, we're not very far from the village of Sproughton. In fact, I think we're probably on the sort of the outskirts of it, really. And yeah, my decision is final. I'm still pushing for the finish by tonight. I've got an hour and a half, I think, before it gets dark. I think it's sort of getting dark about 8 o'clock now, so yeah, I've got to 8 o'clock, so I've got an hour and a half to absolutely cane it. This is Sugar Beet Weir, just on the outskirts of Ipswich. This section of the Gipping here is really, really nice. I've seen swans, ducks, some geese. It's a really good little section, and to think it's literally right on the outskirts of Ipswich, which I believe is a city, or is it a town? I know Ipswich Town Football Club, but I've always thought of it as a city. It's a big place, but yeah, really nice little section of the river this, and got to be a contender for one of the highlights. Yeah, decent. We're sort of leaving the rural countryside side of the Gipping behind now, and we're entering the urban section, full of graffiti such as twat face and I want to fuck a dog in the arse, to you know, beer cans being left everywhere. It's a particularly dirty section of the river, this, and they sort of run a lot of clean-up operations and stuff, like a couple of times a year, just to, you know, volunteers just to sort of dredge the river, as it were. And I watched it on YouTube. I don't know why it was on YouTube, but in one big clear up they did over the course of a day, out of like it was literally only like a couple of miles, this section of the river, they pulled 78 shopping trolleys out of the river. They pulled 2 motorbikes out, about, I think it was 6 or 8 like bikes, just tons of stuff. It just goes to show you how dirty humans are, and you know, how we litter and stuff. And it's fucking awful, really. Like, yeah, I'm carrying all my rubbish with me. It's no hardship, really. I can't see why other people can't do the same. It's because they're lazy, that's what it is. And yeah, it's just horrible, and it just means it just leaves a job for someone else to have to do, really. And unfortunately, most of the time they're not getting paid to do it. They're volunteering. It's awful. So yes, this is more the urban sprawl now, and we're on like tarmac, sort of basically like a, you know, a footpath. Of course, it's the towpath, but it's yeah, it's almost like a road now, so pretty easy walking. And yeah, I'm just sort of keeping an eye out for where the trains are, because the railway line splits in 2 up here. I've crossed under one railway footbridge, so I believe I can see a bridge up ahead. The one up ahead is probably the next one I'm going over. Yeah, it is. I can see the train heading over it now. Yeah, that means I'm really close. I'm nearly there. And yeah, I tell you what, when I set off today on this one, I honestly didn't think I'd complete this all in one day. I don't know what I've been taking or what I've been doing in the gym. I think it's all the bloody leg days I do, but it's paying off though. I have absolutely bombed through this walk, and well, I think I left myself about 12 miles to do. Well, I think this is a PB for me. It's the quickest time I've ever done like 12-13 miles in. It's crazy. So yeah, I've got a little celebratory drink to have at the end, and yeah, I've got it in the holster thing on the side of my rucksack at the moment, so I'll yeah, I'll crack that out near the end. Can't wait. And here's the confirmation I needed that I'm nearly there. And I'll just steady the camera. Riverside Road 350 yards, Stoke Bridge and historic waterfront 1.5 miles. Well, I believe that's what I'm aiming to head towards. Historic waterfront, I'm guessing, is Ipswich docks, the end of the River Gipping and the start of the River Orwell. So 20 past 7 now. If you go down that way, it said there's you can get the bus to the town centre of Ipswich, so yeah, I'm really close. Hopefully I should be back before 8 o'clock. Okay, yeah, we're about a mile now from the historic waterfront of Ipswich docks. It's time to crack out my celebratory drink. Hopefully it's not too premature, that's what she said. And yeah, can of HCC Herefordshire Cider Company Gold Refreshing Amber Cider, 5%. It's only a little 250ml can though. So yeah, let's crack this open. Trying to do it one-handed. There we go. Cheers guys, and cheers to the river. It's been my companion for 17 miles for the last 2 weekends, and yeah, it's not much of a good walking companion though, don't talk much. It's been nice though. Cheers. Banging. It's out of a tin, so it loses it a point. It is a cheap ass cider from like Aldi or Lidl, somewhere like that. But it's convenient, medium dry as well. I'm giving it 7 out of 10. We've got cracking views behind me of the range and Argos. Retail park in Ipswich. Got me cheap ass cider. Perfect. It's been a good one. And I tell you what, the amount of people I've seen walking along the river this time of night just drinking anyway, so I'm fitting right in with like the local community here, you know. Edgy stuff. Here's another lock right in the heart of Ipswich now. Literally the main road is right behind me, and yeah, 3/4 of a mile to go to the historic waterfront. Okay, that there that we just seen is Hanford Sluice, formerly Hanford Lock. It's an automated sluice that controls fresh water flow from the Gipping into the Orwell and prevents tidal inundation from the Orwell. Hanford Sluice works in partnership with Horseshoe Sluice near London Road Bridge to control freshwater flooding. The water from the Gipping generally flows entirely over Hanford Sluice, but when the flow exceeds the capacity of this channel, Horseshoe Sluice is lowered and the flow along the Gipping is reduced over Hanford Sluice. Ipswich and Stowmarket navigation. In 1789, aware that the population and industry of Stowmarket was declining because of the badly maintained roads, 6 local gentlemen engaged William Jessup to construct the navigation. A parliamentary bill was passed on the 1st of April 1790. When the navigation opened on the 14th of September 1793, 3 barges laden with coal made the 17-mile trip from Ipswich to Stowmarket, rising 90 feet through 15 locks. At the turn of the century, more than 30 trips a week were being made, carrying coal, slate, manufactured and imported goods. Upstream, gun cotton, beer and agricultural produce on the return journey to Ipswich. A return trip took about 16 hours, and there is, if you can just see it in this light, it's probably not going to pick it up in this light, just about, there's a photo of one of the first barges. The navigation flourished, and many Stowmarket industries owe their origins to a riverside location. ICI's plant in Stowmarket evolved from Prentice's Chemical and Explosives, and the iron foundry became a main production facility of Atco Qualcast. In 1844, the Eastern Union Railway built an extension from Ipswich to Stowmarket along the course of the navigation. Waterborne traffic declined, and by 1900, trade to Stowmarket had virtually ceased, although some companies at Brantford continued to use the navigation for a few more years. The trustees closed the navigation in 1922, and the business was finally wound up in 1934. So I think it's this path down there leads into the reserve and on towards the town centre and football ground. If you cross the river and take the path along the other bank, you can follow the Gipping Valley Path through Western Ipswich to Sproughton and on to Stowmarket. Alright, I know light's fading now guys, but I believe this last little bit here is where the Gipping turns into the Orwell, and just under that bridge there it goes to, I think, a sluice gate from what I saw on YouTube on this documentary, and yeah, the Orwell begins there. So of course I've walked the store in Orwell before with Richard a few years ago. It's a really good long distance route that, and I guess probably this is where it now links up with that path. So yeah, we've more or less completed the Gipping Valley River Path. I'm absolutely ecstatic, believe it or not. I know, probably couldn't tell that. What I'll do is, oh, I can see the train. Right, I can see the railway line. I'm going to probably walk to that first, and then what I might do is drive down to the historic waterfront, and I'll show you that, and I'll probably sign off there. For all you football fans out there, I'm at Sir Bobby Robson Bridge. Of course, he was a Ipswich town manager, I think, at one point. I'm not a massive football fan myself, probably because there's just not enough violence in the sport, really. I much prefer rugby. Seeing big geezers like beating each other up is more entertaining anyway. And yeah, so if any of you know more about the history of Ipswich town and Sir Bobby Robson, let us know. But yeah, it's a famous little landmark, that. So anyway, oh, hang on, I have to admit though, I'm going home to watch Match of the Day, so right, I think it's a third of a mile to the train station. You probably can't see it from here, but we are actually still following the river, which I think is now the Orwell. It could still be the Gipping, actually, I might be wrong, but there's a big river anyway, we're still following it. The train station is about 300 yards away, so what I'll do, I think I've mentioned it earlier, I can't remember, I'll get me stuff in the car, I'll pay me car park fare at the station, I'll drive down to the historic waterfront and the docks and the wharf, because that's sort of the fitting end, really, I guess, for the Gipping Valley River Path. It's where it meets the start of the Orwell and heads out to sea and that, so it wouldn't feel right to sort of end it here. So yeah, that will be our next port of call. And yeah, I can see the railway, I think it's called the Railway Hotel Pub, which is opposite the train station. So yeah, I've more or less made it. Yes! Excellent. Right, so yeah, you'll next see me down at the waterfront then, or on the waterfront, to quote a Marlon Brando film. Alright guys, you're probably not going to be able to see too much, but I'm at the waterfront in Ipswich. I'm actually at the marina. I'm not actually meant to be parked here, it's permit holders only, so I'm not going to be stopping here for very long. I just thought I'd quickly drive down here. Nearly got lost, and sign off to you properly. So instead of a wild camp, I'm going to give you a proper send-off really on this one. So yeah, I can see all the boats sort of behind me here, and there's all the lights, sort of the apartments and the buildings and stuff. It's actually quite nice really, and I think I'd happily swap this for a wild camp, something a bit different. I've never actually been into the heart of Ipswich before. So yeah, it's been a really good walk. Highlights, I would probably say really the whole thing's been pretty good. Needham Market was really nice with Needham Lake, and certain bits of Stowmarket right at the start were really nice as well. And I suppose probably just actually getting all the way to Ipswich, sort of today, was like a highlight in itself. And of course seeing all the locks and sort of learning about the navigation and the canals, and sort of it's an important part of the Industrial Revolution and stuff. It's an important part of not only this area's heritage and history, East Anglia and Suffolk, but also of history of our country really, I guess. The Industrial Revolution and whatnot, and how sort of canals and stuff made industry sort of more possible until the train come along, and that was it. It was the end of it really. So anyways, right, probably can't see me too well. I've got a green tint to me at the moment because of this light. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to sign off here. So I hope you've enjoyed watching both parts of the video. Let us know what you think. If you've been here before or whatever, let us know and stuff. But yeah, it's been a good one. I'm glad I've done it. So yeah, cheers for watching. Let us know what you think. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. And yeah, stay tuned for more stuff. So you will see me in the next one. once again guys, I really do appreciate the support. Thank you very much, and yeah, I'll see you later. See you later. Bye bye.